If my life was a movie, well, it is, and I decide how I tell my stories. What makes visuals stand out is the look. That's how people know it's you before they even see the credits. Hello, my name is Helen V. I'm a founder of creative studio Diaries by Helen V, and I produce stock footage and develop an independent comedy project. So if I had to describe my work in one sentence, it would be made by human. That's why I was totally in when Dehancer approached me to test their film emulation plugin. So did I like it? A note, Dehancer didn't pay me for this review and they have no influence on what I'm saying here. And well, why would we talk about color grading if I can show you? Let's dive in. Let me walk you through my grading process, and just a note, for the sake of this demonstration, I quite simplified my node tree. We will not stop on explanation what each of the node means because the main goal today is Dehancer plugin, but just let me walk you through. So first I start with color space transform, which I basically translate my Sony footage to Davinci color space, alright, and then I translate it out to Rec 709. Then we have primaries. I just correct a little bit white balance and remove magenta tint. Then I have a node that is empty just for the sake, just in case. And Dehancer, that's what we're gonna focus on today. What's important to note, that Dehancer is not a lot. It has been developed by people with real background in science, analog photography, film and color. So it's rather a photochemical laboratory, but in your laptop. As you can see, there is a lot of flexibility. But what's important and where you can easily mess up if you're not attentive, it's your source. It's very important to match it with your footage source. And since mine was interpreted into DaVinci Wide Gamut, I set it to DaVinci Intermediate, okay? There are other color profiles, including different camera color profiles, but honestly, I prefer DaVinci Wide Gamut simply because it's more flexible for grading. You can tweak your exposure here a little bit. I prefer to do it in my primaries, even though we see it's a little bit greenish, but let's move on. So, the heart of Dehancer, film. And honestly, I want to geek out on this. It mimics the characteristics of real physical film. So I want to learn everything about it, but you don't have to be a geek to actually work with Dehancer. Push and pull allows you to control the color contrast. Film developer. It's basically your darkroom, but on your laptop. And you can influence the color boost, the contrast, gamma correction. See, you can tweak black and white points. Print is what I haven't fully wrapped my head around yet, to be honest. So I set it to linear, which doesn't tweak any characteristic of the input film. But just for the sake of demonstration, let's see what we can have. For example, Cineon, it's just basically flattened look, so let's get back. Your favorite film grain, and actually Dehancer did a great work there because you can tweak everything. You can influence separately grain in your shadows and mid-tone and highlights and size of it. I set it right here, but actually Halation, we don't have any light source for halation. It's basically this orange halo around highlights. We don't have any bulb whatsoever. Bloom, it's like this soft halo around the highlights. I push it further using Pro Mist filter, so my in-camera look is already soft. So you can also influence the percentage of the outlook, and you can generate a lot. Did I find Dehancer useful? Well, before I answer that, I should tell you some maybe cons, I don't know. First of all, it's quite resource consuming, but you're not supposed to edit your footage in Mac Air, so my machine works pretty well with it. It gives you a lot of control over the final result, but it demands some knowledge. And honestly, it felt quite intimidating in the beginning, especially knowing I will have to record a review. I got really hooked, and I dived in. I started learning about different film profiles and stuff, and seeing science behind processes. And there is so much more to learn, but I'm eager, and I think I'll make more reviews. Let me know if you're curious. I think the next one will be on photography, because I edit in Davinci Resolve, but Dehancer has versions for Final Cut, Premiere, After Effects, as well as Photoshop and Capture One. So I'm really curious to experiment with photography more and show you what I came up with. It's basically the plugin I didn't know I needed. And a note, Dehancer didn't pay me to say that. They want an honest review, and I'm genuinely happy that it helps me to achieve this human-made look in my work. Obviously, Dehancer is not a basic lot. You cannot just snap it over your whatever footage. It's not a like look good button. But I honestly think if you're into cinematic look, into film looks, you should really try it. And to do so, you can use my promo code HelenV. You will get 10% off. I will get a small commission. But I should note that I will never promote anything I didn't try personally, I don't find useful or sustainable. So you will not see Shane here. And I'm really curious to know your experience, your thoughts on film look. If you already tried Dehancer or use it in your grading process, let me know in the comments. See you next time.